if you go to a textbook and you open it up, that's the definition of a potential topping signal. So again, we want to be very aware of that signal on the Friday close, the daily candle. Does it get negated this week? And I think we're going to find out everything about this market this week, right? We have the jobs report, we have lots of earnings still coming out. All of these things this week are going to tell us by the end of the week, has the parallel failed or is it still intact? Has the topping tail failed or is it still intact? These are the types of things that as a technician, I will continue to watch. So watch this topping tail right here. Right now, we're going to open a little bit lower on the S&P, but not by much as we continue to find out more information out of the Strait of Hormuz. Now, just to be clear, and we talked about this in many game plans, many people are perplexed by why the markets are up 15% on the S&P. The Nasdaq's up like 22% in the last month, while we're seeing this conflict go on and the oil disruption and the oil price basically trade around $100 a barrel now for over 2 months. And the answer is simple. The market looks at the current data in the US, including earnings and including the US economy. And right now, we have not seen that oil price filter through to hurt the consumer, the US economy, nor has it hurt the latest round of earnings. Earnings have been very generally good. So the markets are saying, well, who cares? Literally every country could be at war with us if the US economy, and I know that's kind of, I'm being facetious in that way, but the point is the US economy stays strong. If earnings stay strong as well, then you have the makings for the market and investors to ignore anything going on around the US. All right. So that's where we are there. Here's your chart of your parallel on the NASDAQ. We did close on Friday above that. Again, as we know, pierces are relatively normal. The question is, later this week, are we still above this line or have we seen a rejection? The NASDAQ, incredible in the way that it has rallied from the low on the 30th of March. And keep in mind, it's the 4th of May to Friday's high, 22%. I believe last I checked, we were up slightly on the NASDAQ. Basically, again, a 22% rally. Now, what's amazing about this is the shortest time frame that it has taken for a market to sell off based on fear and recover in, again, it took 11 days for it to negate the drop we saw on the war, on the fighting in the Strait of Hormuz and that being closed and oil spiking as high as 120. That has never happened in the history of the market that it recovered that quickly, nor has it ever happened that we've recovered and gone to new all-time highs this quickly as well. Remarkable stats right now, guys, really is. Okay, couple news headlines here. Okay, if we take a look, you have GameStop under lots of pressure today. Okay, so again, lots of pressure here. And this was after GameStop actually came out. And this one I'm still scratching my head on and offered to buy eBay for $120 a share. All right, now eBay, that puts it at $56 billion acquisition for a company that's an $11 billion company. Now, they said they got $20 billion in commitment from TD Bank, I believe it was, but there's still like Ryan Cohen was on CNBC this morning, and it was one of the most awkward interviews I have ever seen. He had no, like, basically no rebuttals for how they're going to get the money together. I mean, yes, you're going to dilute shareholders. Okay, but even if you doubled the amount of shares in the company, that only gets you another $11 billion. Then you get $20 billion from TD Bank if they're willing to do it still. Then you're still at a shortfall of about $25 billion. Do you dilute shareholders by 3 times? Do you triple? I mean, again, as a shareholder, listen, I'm not in GameStop, but this is something that you're like scratching your head about. Now, it's not to say that eBay and GameStop couldn't be a great company together, but it really would make more sense for eBay to come over and buy GameStop if they wanted it versus the other way around. All right, this is like saying, the local mom and pop shop is going to go buy Walmart. It's like, okay, how is that in reality going to work? Not very well, obviously. All right, going to a couple others. eBay on this news is trending higher today, although off of its highs, just basically because it got interest at a $120 price. You can see in the overnight